Welcome back. So I have a rather interesting mail day for you, kind of covering a really wide range of items, from the incredibly large and awkward that is in front of you to something smaller than a normal sports card. But this is the item that I was most fascinated by. It's obviously a newspaper, and it's dated, so it's New York Times, dated Monday, September 15th, 1930. And there's really no significant overall historic significance of that date. It is interesting in looking at the front page, where you have elections being reported in Germany and the Nazis starting to gain a foothold within that country, and there's specific reference to Hitler on this front page. You just have to, U.S., Paris, all kind of reacting to Hitler gaining power. The ironic thing about this particular edition of the paper is that, and it's a newspaper, so I'm not going to open it up. It's rather delicate, and I've tried that before, is that within these pages, you have the box score of the New York Yankees game, which wouldn't seem like too big of a deal. I mean, interesting for many Yankees fans, given the time period. You have Ruth and Gehrig. But for me, this is the first box score for Hank Greenberg, because the Yankees were playing the Tigers. This records Greenberg's one at-bat in the 1930 season, and he wouldn't see another Major League at-bat until 1933. So there's a fascinating dichotomy between the international world news going on and one of the most prominent Jewish baseball players of all time having his first major league appearance. So this is just the first item in a rather interesting group of items that I've been able to come across. And I should note that with newspapers, I don't normally pick them up. This is only the third newspaper I have in the collection, because they're so large, cumbersome, and fragile. So they really have to be a good price. And for under $30, I was really happy to pick this little piece of Greenberg history up and add it to the collection. So now that we have moved that out of the way and ever so daintily placed it along the side, let's get into some more manageable sized items. So we'll start with the smallest one right up top, and this is kind of a fantasy Allen and Ginter card. So using the template of the 2008 Topps Allen and Ginter, nice Hank Greenberg color photo in his Pittsburgh uniform, number 3 of 5. And if you look at the bottom, not a Topps card, which I'm okay with. It's an interesting photo. It's one I haven't seen on cards, so I have no problem adding this off-brand fantasy card, whatever you want to call it, to the Greenberg collection. Just like these, when they come up for the right price, I have no problem adding these little one-of-one cards. So the bar does this all the time. They make quote unquote one of one cards with, around one player, and people get excited about the hits when it's really, if you look at what it is, it's Hank Greenberg one of one news, stamp, and model baseball bat from his playing days. That's all things that you can pick up for the cheap, but for like $5, $5 auction win, yeah, what the heck? I'll definitely add it to the collection for that price. And now we go to some very vintage cards. 1927. I forget the designation. But these are two Andy Cohen cards. Now, 1927 New York Giants, one of the greatest infields of all time, with Rogers Hornsby. Now, Rogers Hornsby was a rather combative fellow, and the Giants believed in Cohen's talent that they traded Hornsby after the 27 season and handed the job to Cohen. So this, unlike the 33 Gowdy, this is really Cohen's rookie card. And I was able to find two of these at auction for very little money, and I was happy to add. I was hoping to get one, and I happened to win both, so I was very happy with that. And these are strip cards, blank backs. This one is obviously in better shape. Next up, we have a very beat up but difficult to find Detroit Tigers 1935 postcard. And obviously I picked these up because Greenberg is in the photo. And he's in his usual spot right there. It is not filled out, so not postmarked. Again, it is a rough example. Now, it's funny because I had seen this on eBay. I believe it went for auction, if I remember correctly. I placed a monitor bid. I completely forgot about it. Turns out that Michael Shane got it for a steal and then subsequently upgraded his. And these are not incredibly easy to find, so he happened to come across two basically at the same time, upgrade it, and this became available. He put it on eBay, but I said I was interested, so he just sent it to me, and now I got to figure out what to send to him. So that's kind of how it goes when you are friendly with those that collect the same player. So always, don't see them as competitors, see them as friends. Since I've been on a government issue postcard kick, this it seems like it was canceled, but so faint that you can really don't see it. Nice Al Rosen government postcard. Now, he generally put good luck on a lot of things early on when he was signing things. So early on, we're talking about 1950, 51. He generally put good luck and then signed his name, whether it was a card, postcard, etc. So I'm fairly certain that this is about 1950, 1951, even though there's no stamp from the post office of when it was processed. But again, it's one of those things for $10 or less. I think this is actually $5. I'll pick that up and add it to the collection. And then, as you've seen with previous videos, as of late, I'm trying to pick up a lot of government issue postcards, or just postcards that are postmarked with Greenberg's signature on them. Because ideally, the long-term goal is to have something from every year from 33 to 86 when he passed away. That's kind of a pipe dream, but we'll see how it plays out. I've knocked a number of years off already. And I will, especially the early years, make some exceptions of if I know I can nail down, a certain team. I nail down a certain year because of certain players on a multi-sign or things of that nature. I'm okay doing that. Especially later on and during his retirement and his executive years, retirement from playing and then his executive years and then retirement again. I prefer to have something that's dated. So this one came up on eBay, went back and forth with the seller a little bit. So I now have 1971 covered for another Hank Greenberg government postcard. And the final item. Now this is something that it's interesting because I had purchased this in December. It was mailed in December. And I guess last week I hadn't received it. So I reached out to the seller just asking what the status is, because when I looked up the tracking number, it didn't say that it was ever processed. So it didn't have any checkpoints of where it was. So I reached out to the seller going, just simply asking for a status update, not being combative, not asking for anything. And they immediately got back to me, probably within a couple hours. And their letter back to me was preceded by a full refund. And the note back to me said, it went out with all the other mail same day. They don't know what's going on with it, and they issued a full refund, and if it should ever show up, keep it and enjoy it, and don't worry about sending money back. Consider it a compensation. I think they use the word of term of compensation for your inconvenience. So it was rather surprising. Again, I was not asking for anything except for just, hey, what's going on? So kudos to that seller. They'll definitely be getting some positive feedback. And the ironic thing is, the next available mail day, it shows up. So I picked up this photo, very reasonably priced, stamped on the back for AP, and 1934 spring training Greenberg photo, obviously taking batting practice, and the 34s especially. I think it's probably a little too far away. Just look for the D on the cap. That'll really tell you it's pre-35, I believe. It was 34, 35 when Detroit changed to the more stylized D on their caps instead of a simple block letter. But I was happy to add another early photo. The price was good to begin with, and shockingly, this is now a free item that's going into the PC. And yes, I will still reach out to the seller and make the offer to pay. But based on their reaction, I'm kind of doubting it that they'll accept that. But needless to say, I'll be checking out what they have in the future and hoping that everything goes smoothly so they can get paid and stay paid. But that is the last item of, again, quite the variety of items, ranging from a very large newspaper to the smallest knockoff Allen and Ginter, but also ranging quite a number of years from 1927 through, I'm guessing this is going to be the most recent, all the way to 2020, which is what that particular piece is. So, again, covering nearly 100 years all PC, mostly Hank Greenberg, and obviously a number of very, very unique items. So that's what I got for you this time around. And until next time, please remember to collect what you enjoy what you collect, and don't let anybody, especially the market or YouTuber, dictate that to you. And most importantly, have fun. And have fun by being active in this community. So find your way of participating, whether it's making videos, watching and commenting, going to live streams, group chats, going to your LCS or local card show, or simply talking about the hobby with family and friends. The more you put into it, the more you'll get out of it. The more you'll learn, the more your PC will grow, the more people you'll meet, and the more fantastic friendships you'll form. So I thank you very much for joining me. Hope to see you again. Have a good one, and bye for now.